is for Mahmoud, is you were a negotiator with the administration last year during the encampments. How do you feel about their silence now? Yeah?
I mean, Colombia administrators never disappoint. So I'm not surprised. This is very shameful because they are the ones who know me very well. They're the ones who in private, in fact, tell me that there is anti-Palestinian racism at Colombia, that there is a manufactured hysteria about anti-Semitism at Columbia University because of the protests, but they don't dare to talk about that in public. So this is absolutely not surprising. Thank you.
Mahmoud, can you start off by describing what happened to you on March 8th, how you were taken, and then talk about how it feels to be free today?
So she's asking Mahmoud to describe what happened on March 8th when he was taken and how he feels today.
It felt like it was literally being kidnapped, where you have plainclothes agents literally snatching you off your apartment building without introducing themselves, without introducing an arrest warrant. I was mostly concerned about my then pregnant wife, Noor, that they basically cut me off of any means of communication for over 30 hours. These 30 hours were the most difficult time during the whole experience. The fact that you don't know what's happening, the fact that you don't know what will happen next, the fact that during the early hours of these 30 hours, they wouldn't tell me what I'm being accused of. So that definitely was frightening. And now it feels, I mean, great. It feels that the movement is winning, that the government is actually frightened of us. That's why they literally had to go to 1952 to find an excuse for my deportation.
Mahmoud here. Columbia University refused to file a legal submission in court in your spot, unlike Tufts University did for Rumesa Oster. Once you were arrested, did you feel that at least now Columbia University's administration would speak up? And second quick question is, at any point in time in your detention, did you even briefly consider giving up the legal case and possibly leaving the country?
That was a very long question. I'm repeating it so that the crowd can hear, just so people understand. So the question was, Columbia refused to file anything in the case, and unlike Tufts, which did file in the case of Rumesa, so how did you feel about that? And was there ever a moment when you felt like giving up the case and just leaving the country?
As I've mentioned, since I joined Columbia in early 2023, I knew that this university is anti-Palestinian, that they wouldn't actually do this. Maybe if there is a financial gain for them from doing that, they would have done it. I'm certain, because this is what Columbia cares about. They care about their money. And I don't remember a time where I considered giving up, because from the moment I got arrested, I knew that my case is righteous, I'm righteous. My speech should be celebrated, not punished. And this is what I will continue to do.
What's your message to student protesters who might be fearful of using their voice based on what happened to you?
The question is, what's your message to student protesters who might be fearful based on what happened to you?
we will win. I believe. Students across the country have always led us toward what's right. They were our moral compass. This happened during the Vietnam War, during apartheid South Africa, during fossil fuels demonstrations, and it's happening now. That's why this administration is so worried that they're literally doing everything in their power to suppress us, because we are winning. We are literally winning. And this is just the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end of the U.S. complicity in the genocide in Gaza, the U.S. unconditional support to the genocidal state of Israel, and to Colombia's complicity in Israeli crimes.
Mahmoud, we've seen a lot of...
Sorry.
Hi, Mahmoud from Reuters. What's your response or take on the Secretary of State's determination that your presence is harmful to foreign policy interests? And does all of this change how you go about either what's the impact on your life and on your activism?
So he's asking about Mahmoud's take on the Foreign Secretary's comments on Mahmoud being a foreign threat to the country, and then how has this changed his life? How has this experience changed his life?
Well, the allegation is that my speech allegation are undermining the U.S. foreign policy of combating anti-Semitism. Well, first of all, Israel is the top foreign policy threat to the United States. Second, it's ironic that this is coming from a person, Marco Rubio, who regularly meets with neo-Nazis, who in fact endorses right-wing parties in Europe. Germany's AfD, the most extreme neo-Nazi party. And what's actually threatening the interest of anti-Semitism, of combating anti-Semitism, is the unconditional support to a country that's waging a genocide in the name of the Jewish people. Of course, the Palestine movement is diverse. There's no place for any kind of hatred, whether it is anti-blackness, anti-Semitism, or any sort of hate. The fact that the administration it has been over 100 days, there isn't any shred of evidence that what I did or said is wrong, whether it's First Amendment or not. There's no shred of evidence about that. And that alone should suffice. Your second question?
Do you change how you go about your life or your activism now? What's the impact?
This absolutely impacted my life in so many ways. I did not hope to be in this position. And I absolutely don't want to be the face of the student movement, because there are much more students who are much braver than me. But here I am. I will definitely take that with pride. I will continue to advocate for Palestinian rights, no matter what.